2016 saw the strong growth of real estate market with many notable events, such as massive introduction of resort real estate projects with investment scale from thousands to tens of thousands trillion Vietnam dong. Cheap apartments attract the attention of investors. June 2016, Circular 6 on the limits and prudential ratios for the operations of credit organizations were officially promulgated by the State Bank of Vietnam. M&A happened with a lot of big deals. It is obvious that this breakthrough is result from the continued large capital being poured into the market last year. The capital comes from domestic investors or foreign investment funds through different forms of investment. Economic experts predict in 2017, the real estate market will continue to attract foreign capital, making the market become more competitive and grow stronger.
Greetings from Vietnam on VTC10 Net Viet. In 2016, Vietnam's real estate market has seen positive changes and the return of many investors, including the foreign investors. So, can Vietnam's real estate market continue to attract foreign investors in 2017 and onward? In today's program, we are going to find out more about that, and the guest speaker in our program today is Dr. Henry Chin, the head of Research Asia Pacific from CBRE. So thank you for joining us. The first question we'd like to ask you is, can you share some information on the situation of the Asian real estate market in 2016?
Okay, 2016 for Asia Pacific real estate market has been fantastic good years. And if you look at the transaction activities in 2016, I think we have reached 100 billion US dollars of transactions. So there's a plenty of investment activities across Asia Pacific. Of course, the highlight for the market across APAC is Japan, it's China, as well as Australia. So those three markets continue to perform so well. And we see so much money chasing for real estate. So 16 was a very, very good year for Asia Pacific real estate market.
In your opinion, which segments of the Asian real estate market in 2016 has gained significant improvement so far?
Yes, which segment improved significantly? I think it's industrial logistic market. We see the changes for e-commerce. We see the structure changes of third-party logistic players. We see a lot of structure reformed in that spaces. So over the past 10 years, we see the very, very good structure changes in that sector, logistics sectors. I think the other segments, apart from logistics, I think all the commercial real estate markets, plus residential sectors across APAC, in every market got different opportunities there. For example, if I look at the office market, I think Australia is a very, very good market, and Japan has been fantastic good market to invest. If you look at the logistic market, it's pretty much across Asia Pacific. But if you look at the residential market, I have to say Vietnamese residential market looks attractive. Emerging market, urbanization, people get richer, so therefore residential is a good investment asset class for a lot of investors. As a result, so every market got a different segment.
In 2016, the Asian real estate market has seen positive changes. So what is your opinion on the changes in Vietnam's real estate market, an emerging new market in Asia?
Yes, in 2016, you see the government has released the foreign ownership to invest into Vietnamese real estate market, and Vietnam is in the hub of One Belt One Road, as well as RCEP, like a trade agreement. So Vietnam is going to benefit a lot by bilateral trade agreement. So I think Vietnam is going to benefit because of that. And so as I say, every market is very different. From my personal point of view, I think Vietnam has a few bright spots. Number one, we talk about residential a bit early on. Number two, I think office spaces, once you get more and more MNCs, multinational corporations coming to Vietnam, they need office spaces. So therefore, office is going to be a good bright spot as well. The third one is manufacturing. Talk about modern logistic facilities. I think modern logistic facilities is going to be super popular and are going to increase attractiveness in Vietnam over the next few years.
Over the years, Vietnam's real estate market has attracted foreign investors in different forms, including the foreign direct investment and M&A. So what is your opinion on this investment?
In the real estate market, yes, foreign investors, you're thinking about it. Traditionally, foreign investors, when they come to Asia, they only invest in Japan, Korea, China, Hong Kong, Singapore. That's it for Asia market. But if you look at the market in those locations, I think the price has been so tight, means they're quite expensive. So a lot of investors, what we are seeing, particularly Taiwanese, Singaporean, Hong Kongese, they are looking for the higher returns, means capital value is a little bit lower, good returns. They look at Southeast Asia. And I think Vietnam is a good spot for those investors. That's why I can see more and more foreign investors are coming to Vietnam to look at the investment opportunities beyond traditional real estate sectors, residential, as well as the hotel sectors also being attractive as well.
The Institute for Mergers, Acquisitions and Alliance, IMAA, has announced the total value of M&A of the year reached more than $5 billion, equivalent to a record level in 2015. The total number of acquisitions in 2016 reached 611, up 15% over the previous year, with the average value of each investment deal of around 8 to 9 million. M&A is most exciting in the retail and real estate sectors. Only the 5 biggest M&A deals in the real estate market had a total value of more than $1.3 billion. It is noteworthy that it is due to the participation of foreign investors. Mirae Asset Security and Aeon VNGN acquired Gangnam Hanoi Landmark Tower at a cost of nearly $400 million. Mitsubishi acquired 45% of the project Central Park Manor, equivalent to $300 million. Keppel Land bought 40% of Empire City project, or approximately $230 million. Mapletree bought Kum Ho Asiana Plaza project at a value of more than $200 million. Creed Group poured $200 million in projects of Anza Investment. Recently, the real estate consulting firm CBRE released a market report for the fourth quarter of 2016. The report showed that foreign capital continued to flow into this market in the past year through the resort projects, luxury housing, and retail space.
Domestic investors, including the Vingroup and FLC, also joined the market. So will this make the market more competitive, and will the foreign investors keep looking toward Vietnam's real estate market?
Yes, actually, I won't see is the market become more competitive. If you got a domestic investors as well as a foreign investor come to Vietnamese real estate market, actually it's very, very good. It shows the sign of a Vietnamese real estate market become more mature, become more institutionalized. So improve the transparencies, improve the liquidities. So therefore will make Vietnamese real estate market a lot more attractive. So I won't see as a competition, at least about open out, easing the policies, the market become more institutionalized, more liquid, as well as more transparent.
In what ways do you think Vietnam's real estate market is attractive to the foreign investors?
And we talk about all those investors coming to invest into Asian market, they want a higher returns, right? And but if you look at all those emerging markets, for example, all those emerging markets across Asia Pacific, the return has been relatively low. But if you look at the Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh office investment, the yield still remains very attractive. The spread between office and the investment government bond yield, I think is one of the highest in those emerging markets in Asia. For the investors, if we want to get a higher return, Vietnam seems to be a good choice for them. So that's made Vietnam very attractive. The second thing is I highlight a trade agreement. Manufacturings are coming to Vietnam because of a lower cost. So as a result, I think Vietnam fundamentals serve the good purpose for real estate. As well as some policy support, I think it's going to be a good year for Vietnamese real estate market.
What are the changes do you think that Vietnam should make in order to attract more and more foreign investors into the real estate market?
I think policy to support the foreign investment is very, very important. I think we see a lot of emerging markets. The problem for a lot of emerging markets for foreigners, I think if the government can simplify to fast forward, can be a lot smoother in terms of the approvals, I think that will help us a lot.
Finally, what is your opinion on the Asian real estate market in the coming time, and especially Vietnam's real estate market?
In 2017, there are 5 mega trends, which is common trend for Asia commercial real estate market. Number one, we are expecting to see lower interest rate to continue in 2017, but the rental growth in Asia Pacific is going to be lower than our historical average. Still positive, but the growth is just a lot weaker than before. Number two, what we're talking about is a focus on efficiencies. For example, office occupiers, they're thinking about how can I use the space in an effective manners. So that's efficiency matters. Number three is about supply. In the Asia Pacific commercial market, a huge supply coming to the market, particularly for the office and retail, similar to the Vietnamese real estate market. But actually, if you look at a CBD location, core locations, there are many supply coming to the market. The vacancy rate is still very, very low. Although we got a lot of supply, but choices for occupiers remain limited. The fourth one is talking about placemaking. What do I mean by placemaking? Is asset management is very, very important for landlords, for the investors. If you're a landlord, if you're investors, you have to thinking about how to increase the asset value through the asset management capabilities. Number 5, we talk about investment. I talk about commercial real estate, right? But if you're the investors, probably you're thinking about the niche sectors. Niche sectors such as self-storage, data center, hospitalities, and the student accommodation. That become a niche sector for the investor to invest into those sectors to enhance the returns. So those are the 5 mega trends for Asia commercial real estate market. I think Vietnam pretty much fit in all of those 5 mega trends. So in 2017, I hope in Asia Pacific real estate market, it's going to be another good year so for Vietnamese real estate market.
Once again, thank you, Dr. Henry Chin, for joining us. And that's all we have for this episode of Shine Vietnam today. For comment and feedback, don't hesitate to write to us at shinevietnam@netvietttv.net. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.